Excellency Mohamed B.S. Jallo, Your Excellency Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chairperson of the Goodluck Jonathan Foundation, Your Excellency John Kunda Traore, former President of the Republic of Mali, Excellency the former Vice President, His Excellency the former Prime Minister of the Republic of Burkina Faso, Excellency Madam Ahuna, UN Assistant Secretary General, UNDP Assistant Administrator and Director for Regional Bureau, Your Excellency the President of the ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Omar Aliou Touré, Excellency Leonardo Santos Simao, Special Representative of the Secretary General United Nations Office for West Africa and the Sahel, Dr. Roba Sharomo, Regional Director of International IDA, the Honorable Speaker, Cabinet Ministers here present, Dr. Mamadou Tangara, the EU Special Representative to the Sahel, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, service chiefs, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Excellencies, as we gathered here at the closure of this inaugural Sahel Governance Forum, it is both an honor and a privilege to welcome you all once again, this time to mark the conclusion of the 2 days of rich, open, and forward-looking discussions on the future of governance in our region. Over the past 2 days, we have reflected deeply on the challenges facing the Sahel, such as fragile trust, frail social contracts, the effects of insecurity, and governance shortfalls. But we have also celebrated the resilience, the potentials, and the determination of our people to shape a better future. We have listened and also shared and as well debated and above all committed ourselves anew to the idea that rebuilding social cohesion and restoring public trust must lie at the heart of the region's development agenda. As a moderator of this closing session, I would like to frame our reflection around 3 important and essential questions that we must carry with us. One, what bold actions are required to translate the compelling ideas we have shared here into tangible reforms and real-world change? And 2, how do we strengthen regional solidarity and cross-border cooperation in ways that unlock the full potentials of our people, especially our dynamic youth, and make South-South cooperation a living force for good? And the third one, what role must national governments, regional bodies, civil society, and the citizenry play to sustain the momentum we have built here? Therefore, Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this forum has shown us that there is no shortage of ideas, innovation, or leadership in the Sahel. What is needed now is delivery, moving from dialogue to actions, from commitment to implementation, and from good intentions to impact. Let us not allow this momentum to fade. Let us build a strong follow-up mechanism as proposed in our action plans to ensure that the outcomes of this forum are carried forward locally, regionally, and internationally. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I now have the honor to introduce our distinguished speakers for the closing session, whose leadership and perspectives have been instrumental throughout this process. To my immediate right, we have Abdullah Mar Gay, United Nations Under Secretary General and Special Coordinator for Development in the Sahel. A round of applause for Abdullah. Next to Abdullah, I have Her Excellency Madam Ahuna Ziakuna, UN Assistant Secretary General, UNDP, Assistant Administrator and Director for Regional Bureau for Africa. Well, at the center, we have His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, Mohamed B.S. Jallow. Next, we have His Excellency, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Chairperson of the Goodluck Ebele Jonathan Foundation. And to the far extreme, I have His Excellency, Mr. Sori Ibrahim Sise, National Youth Council from the Republic of Mali. Excellencies, before I proceed, I am also delighted to welcome someone who has words of powers that transcend borders and also can steer reflection. Please join me to welcome Madam Jaina Bature to deliver a point that captures the essence of our gathering and the promise of the Sahel. Madam Jainaba, if you are around, please come forward. Thank you.
Wouldn't it fall? Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Jainaba. I'm a spoken word artist. It's a pleasure to be here, and a huge congratulations to each and every one of you for how far you've come. The piece I'll be reciting today is a letter to the children of Sahel. Have you met her? The Sahel. She carries weight, walks with grace, possesses power, homes the most beautiful people. On her shoulders rest her nations, on her lands her minerals. She is beautiful, she is strong, confident, rich and smart. She wouldn't let the chaos fill her mind. She reminds us, as I read this letter, to keep her safe. that nothing in this world would break us, that she stands firm to rise beyond borders, to rise beyond enemy lines, to remain and unbroken, to remember that her land keeps memories, sad and happy ones. But she implores us to fight and never back down. There is hope, but that requires a lot of work. Someday, one day, we will pull through, dressed in garments of purpose and hope, a path woven, steps taken, a leap of faith for all our people, thriving into governance. To the children of the Sahel, to the future, to better governance, to healing, strength, prayers. This is for you. Regardless of shackles, regardless of truths, regardless of lies, regardless of people, this letter is for you. Dear children of Sahel, there are many versions of this story, told by many, preachers, sculptors, poets. This author will speak. This author will bite, chew, and spit without remorse. This author will open books you've hidden. She will speak of the past, of men and many others before, a place, a region, a continent, a people unified in ambition, integrity, where the soil understood the language of spades. Men had compassion for the weak. Every book had a home, and every pen knew history. Knowledge then laid carpet on every street before your cousin Tim booked 2 hours and burned the library. Men then stood firm with their buckles tight, before blades were switched for dresses. You think GMOs could be compared to organics? Don't misinterpret delusion for reality. You talk about wealth. We're the people of Africa, rich in culture, knowledge, minerals like you've never seen before. A system built not on blood and greed, a learned people. Bodies healthy enough to serve a lifetime. Their food wasn't tampered with. They knew technology and architecture too. Does it surprise you? They had laws that served God. It was fair and not disingenuous. A system that distinguishes the wealthy and the needy. Not one that takes a piece of your mind for a piece of your minds. Not one with an invisible hand to rule. Not one built on fiscal illusion and a hidden economy. This should be a better and different governance. Not one with an order for a new world, a game of chess. Betrayal as a peak element, a great hypocrisy to divide and conquer, and oh, they scramble for our lands. And anyone with a shred of knowledge, kill them all, except for traditions and language. Everything was taken from us, including our titles of royalty. Now what happens when you strip a people of their history and patch up a new one? Establish a hollow wood to project a Hollywood story, a perfect indoctrination. Introduce human rights right after their genocide, the cover-up. But what is a crown without an honest king? What is a throne without its people? What is vision without reality? What is knowledge without the past? What is advancement without us, without God? What is truth? I'll tell you. Truth is the man executed for being honest. Truth is a child manipulated to believe he's of a different gender. Truth is a man who creates a problem, offers a solution, then seeks for a bonus. Truth is a man who creates a problem. Truth is a facade of independence, the ownership of 90% of our resources. Truth is the fight, blood for the 10% we so own. Truth is the system rigged to suit a few ties and bows and economic terrorism. Truth fights. Truth governs. Fights in truth for truth. Lies lie still. Dressed in political gowns, legislative watches, and leather government shoes, convincing us that subservience is right and exploitation is growth. Lies create middlemen to pursue an agenda. I see lies as a bowl of poison, decorated with ugly power. I see lies as an intrusive thought, hell-bent on punishing my thoughts for thinking right thoughts. I see lies as a soldier working against my mind to dig out God's words in exchange for sinning contracts. Lies aren't always a beautiful picture with sparkles and pearls hanging by your bedroom door. Lies are also a prison you do not know of. They said our freedom cost too much. Well, they couldn't afford it. They also said they could be our light. Well, how could they possibly protect us when they hide in the dark? These lies. Listen, how much poison do we take until we can't anymore? What stories are we going to choose to tell? What's our narrative, our path? Do we tend to live in and for the box like democracy, a beautiful sin? We can't speak the same language because my tongue is tied to the bruises of our past. We need an amendment. The shackles of this prison and the foreseen doom of our future. Like a retired body language, I am tired of rooting their rules. How are you going to teach me leadership skills when your pillars are broken? How are you going to teach me rights when you can't right the wrongs? When you right the wrongs, when you right the wrongs. God made us locks impenetrable. He made us shadows to walk on all sides but never against us. Take a look at the mirror and tell me you are not beautiful. Understand you're worth more than pricing. Understand. Tell me God made a mistake. And I swear on my life I will look away walking. I won't try to show you how perfectly fitting our Sahel pieces patch their ceilings. You don't need a traveler's guide. You're a map of beauty and riches. Look closely. Like soldier mannequins, find and fight for your people. Like a man and his skin, like a man and his kin. Our way of life is preserved. For without purpose, problems punish people possessed through pleasing. Now hear me. Today, we begin with a step, a revolution. This present-day Sahel airs the difference, taking back control of our resources. Wear her like a coat in winter. Have your gold reserves button you up. Tie your suits in your own currency. And as you walk, diplomacy, laws, and treachery will follow like a neatly structured disease. Don't look back. Take ownership and walk. Brush off those dusty loans. Pay it all back. No more strings. Cleanse your nation of impurities and unite with better governance. Rebuild, rewrite, and own it. Yours truly, Sahel.
Thank you, Jainaba. Another round of applause for Jainaba, please. That was very inspiring. Now, to share a youth perspective from the heart of the Sahel, I have the honor to invite Mr. Sori Ibrahim Cisse, representing the National Youth Council of Mali, to deliver his remarks. Mr. Sori, you have the floor. Thank you. You want to come here? You want to come here? Yes. You want to come here? Thank you.
Excellences, Monsieur le Vice-président, Monsieur le Président, Mesdames et Messieurs, distingués participants, chers jeunes leaders, en vous rang grade, tout protocole observé. Alors, ce forum de Banjul tire à sa fin. Ce 31 juillet 2025, je suis profondément honoré de m'adresser à vous en tant que jeune.
For all those who are working for a better Sahel, these 2 days we have shared ideas, experiences, and commitments that reveal a collective force, a commitment for the transformation, sustainable transformation of our region. The Sahel that we imagine is a Sahel that is resilient, which is capable of facing up to the challenges, be they climatic crisis, violence, or economic fragilities, by the forces of our communities and the will of its youth. Such a resilience is the very that we need to draw our force from, not only from our roots, but our vision that is turned to the future. The Sahel that we are constructing is one of inclusive governance, where the youth, the women, the marginalized communities are not mere spectators, but key actors at the very heart of decisions. A transparent governance and a participatory one that would give us the tools to build institutions and sustainable peace, which is capable of liberating our region. More than that, the Sahel that we have in our hearts is a Sahel where the role of the youth is key. Such a vital role which makes of us participants of peace, enterprises of development, and active subjects of democratic renewal. Our creativity are the very levers, powerful levers which can change history to ensure that each community, each village, and each city of our region are built. So the outcomes of our discussions are clear enough. So we are awaiting, we are acting collectively to come up with shared responsibilities, a commitment for all generations, because we have shown that our united voice could bring about opportunity, that regional solidarity is our major action, and that the youth is the key to development in the Sahel. To conclude, I would call on each and every one of you, let us be the guardians of such a vision, the artisans of such a transformation, and the purveyors of hope, rather, for generations. For a future generation, for a Sahel which is united and prosperous, one that will find its place and its voice and become a model of a real change and a positive one. Together, we will write this new page of the Sahel with confidence, courage, and determination. I thank you for your attention.
In fact, listening to them, I wonder if this session should have been called a closing session. We are trying to discuss the governance of the future, but I think they have opened the session for the future. Thank you, both of you. I was thrilled when I heard Jenaba. It reminds me Maya Angelou. Two poems of Maya Angelou. Phenomenal woman, she is. Phenomenal woman we have seen these last 2 days that we have been discussing here. Thank you, Jenaba, for reminding us that we need phenomenal women like you to really imagine the Sahel of the future. But what I really got out of your statement, that second poem of Maya Angelou, Cage Birds Sing. And you're right, unless we liberate the young girl in the Sahel, we will not liberate the Sahel. And you're right, and it echoed what Ibrahim was saying, osons le Sahel, let's dare the Sahel. Once we do it, I think we will succeed the Sahel. MC, I should be concluding in 2 words. The future is in the hands of the young generation. When I heard that we wanted to have a compact or agreement, I got scared. We shouldn't be having a compact. In Banjul, we have started a symphony that should be continuing. My advice to UNDP, and you have done it in UNDP, you have this notion of labs. I think we have to get out in the future, out of this Davos style, and invent a Banjul style of discussion, which is a lab where it will be an intergenerational discussion between the older generation and the younger generation that I represent here. I think that is the future. The Ibrahims and the Jainamas and the Mars will be in that meeting. So let me say how impressed I am and scared, by the way, of the power of our prescriptive mind. I have heard 2 words that scare me during the 2 days. Il faut, il n'y a qu'à, we need, we must. And that is our intellectualism. We have to be very careful and afraid. We don't know the solutions. We have to understand, we have to have a sense of humility. My advice to UNDP, to the the Good Luck Foundation, and to the Gambia is that we open in the future a kind of labs that you have in UNDP, this laboratory, where we say we don't know the solution. We know there is the solution, but we don't know. Getting together, we can be closer to the solution. This kind of intergenerational forum where we discuss, this is where we will find the grail. Thank you, all of you. That was a great spirit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. That was also a very powerful statement. Now, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Her Excellency Madam Ahuna, the United Nations Assistant Secretary General and Director for UNDP Regional Bureau for Africa. Your Excellency, you now have the floor.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, Your Excellency, President Goodluck Jonathan, former President of Nigeria, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies, gentlemen, you know, this forum has been long in the making, and I recall our anxiety a few years ago when we realized we couldn't have this meeting when it was proposed in the Gambia. And we wrestled with this. We were in a hurry to have the meeting, to have the forum launched. And for some reason, it was a little bit difficult to do it here, and it had to be postponed. In between, there were offers for it to be held elsewhere. But we kind of persisted because there was something about having this in Gambia, something that was saying to us that having this forum in the Gambia will be a powerful reminder for the government and people of Gambia of how far they have come in their journey, in their long walk to freedom. But we also felt it will be also a very important reminder to this country on what's at stake in sustaining peace and the freedom that they have found. And I hope that that patience, that persistence has paid off, because I think Gambia had earned the place of being the birthplace of this first inaugural meeting. I also want to agree with Mar here that one of the things that came to me as I sat the last 2 days is that the situation, I mean, look at us here today, look at you. You've been sitting through lots of conversation on the Sahel, on Africa, on the world. In this room right now, there is a very weighty energy. Everybody is heavy, not just from a very nice lunch, but really from everything that you've been absorbing and digesting. It's heavy, this region, the issues that we're carrying. But then I realized that for us to walk this walk in the Sahel, we need wisdom, we need knowledge, we need experience, but we also need energy, we need enthusiasm, we need grit. We need the excitement and the stamina of the youth. So the forum launched today, I believe going forward, like Ma said, has to be conceptualized as an intergenerational space. 60%, we say, of the population in this region is under the age of 30. In every room where we have this conversation, we must make sure that 60% is under the age of 30. It must be genderized, gender balanced. We say 52% of the population in the Sahel are women. We must make sure that in every space, on the platform, behind the scenes, behind the rooms, 52% of the participants are women. Achieve a reflection of the reality that we have in society. And I think as we come to the close of this inaugural Sahel Governance Forum, I really want to thank all of you seated here for your voice, your courage, your clarity, and your vision. I realize that even though the issues have been so tough, that the passion, your determination, your conviction, and your presence here indicates one thing, that none of us here is ready to give up on the Sahel. That instead, we're pumped up and we have a deep resolve to go forward towards the solutions and resolutions that will give birth to that future of governance. I want to thank our leaders from the UN system, USG Mar, Under Secretary General Mar, SRHC Mao, and our other senior representatives from here. We have resident representatives from different countries of UNDP. We have resident coordinators here. President Jonathan's foundation and the team, International IDEA. We have a joint team of the organizers who have been working behind the scenes. Some of them haven't slept, tirelessly trying to pull this together. We just come and we eat at the table. But I can tell from their faces that it's been tough. And they stood up and delivered. So please, let's give them a round of applause. Over the past 2 days, we have reflected deeply on what governance is in the Sahel and what it must become. We have spoken honestly about wealth creation, integrity in leadership, accountability, and inclusion, not as an abstract ideal, but as a building block of a more peaceful, prosperous, and just region. We have agreed, as expressed by the different speakers, that the future we seek will not be delivered by chance, that it must be designed by leadership that listens, leadership that cares, and leadership that's ready to serve, by systems that have integrity, and by people who are empowered to shape their own destinies, people who have agency, who do not fear to express themselves, and who are given the chance to do so without fear. We have heard the voices of youth demanding space to create, not just to wait. We've heard the call of women for equal opportunity at the table, not symbolic inclusion. And we've heard from leaders who understand that governance is not about holding power, it is about earning trust. We heard scholars and members of civil society, as well as the private sector, who are ready to collaborate with relevant stakeholders to promote the agency of the people. We heard our young artists, including my favorite poet in this country, Janab, whose talents continue to make the Sahel proud. This forum may be ending this chapter, but the real work begins now. One of the most important contributions of this forum has been the launch of the report, The Future of Governance in the Sahel, Rebuilding Social Cohesion and Public Trust. I want to encourage all policymakers, leaders, political actors, civil society, organizations, development partners, captains of business, to actively engage with its findings and recommendations and to translate its insights into real actionable reforms at local, national, regional, and global levels. And UNDP here remains committed to work with partner organizations presented here to translate the recommendations into actions made to building economies that serve everyone, not just a few, to lead with integrity, not entitlement, and to govern in a way that restores hope, not just order. Let us not settle for only managing crisis in the Sahel. We must build legitimacy. Let us not wait for peace to arrive. We must lead with justice so peace can follow. And let us remember that the people of the Sahel, its farmers, its traders, its teachers, its market women, its artists and dreamers are not a problem to be solved. They are part of the solution. To our incredible team who put this together, between Senegal, Gambia, and the entire organizing team, once again, thank you for your tireless work behind the scenes in making the forum possible but meaningful. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make this forum the beginning of a new era for the Sahel and for Africa. Thank you.
Please, can we give Madam Ahuna another round of applause, please? That was so wonderful. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, now it is my pleasure to invite His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Chairperson of the Goodluck Jonathan Foundation. Your Excellency.
Thank you so much. As a part of the organizing team,
Yes, sir. Okay.
as a part of the organizing team, let me sincerely join my sister Hona to thank the government of the Gambia for hosting us. And not just hosting us, but for participating fully. At least I arrived on Tuesday. From that Tuesday, the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation and the Gambians abroad and the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry were at the airport to receive us. Then the opening, the president himself was here with senior government functionaries, attorney general and others. But the vice president is here with us today to conclude this session. So I have to sincerely thank the president and the government. And Vice President, please convey my sincere appreciation to my younger brother, Mr. President. And let me also, on behalf of the Goodluck Jonathan Foundation, appreciate the United Nations Development Program for bringing us in to organize this program. We are just a featherweight compared to them. But for bringing us in, they have promoted us beyond expectation. So we appreciate you and all your staff. And the issues that we've been discussing since yesterday could be summarized in few words. And of course, some of the speakers, including Governor Bala, mentioned it, the issue of governance. The key thing we have now, so how do we convey these various talks to the critical elements of the sub-region that can implement it? Our serving governors, our serving parliamentarians, our serving ministers, and so on. And I was impressed because today some governors of the Gambia pay a courtesy call on me. They are young people, 40 plus. And they personally expressed their delight and what they gained in participating in this program as young people that were looking up to lead the sub-region tomorrow. During the parallel session, I decided to go to the platform for the women. And I was quite impressed. The robust conversation among the women. I was pleasantly surprised that the serving judge was a part of the discussion. Normally, judges are very conservative. You hardly see them on platforms like this. So they have done well. And listening to the questions, especially the ones that came from outside this room that were read by some of our young people, that questions directed to the president of ECOWAS, I know the expectation of people, not just within the Sahel, but ECOWAS generally. But my good friend, Dr. Omar Toure, you are doing a great job in ECOWAS. I can say that because I've worked with you after leaving office. And ECOWAS is doing well. In most cases, when you have a child, you don't notice that your child is growing. But the people, friends who visit, or relatives that visit you maybe 2 years, 3 years interval, they are the people who say, this child has grown. But because the child lives with you, so you don't even notice the growth. I used to tell people that if you were to write a textbook on democracy in Africa, some 35, 40 years ago, I'm not sure you'll be able to write 50 pages. But now, if you are going to write a book on democracy in Africa, you can go up to 200 to 300 pages. Yes, we have challenges, but we're also growing. We're also moving. People specifically ask about the 3 countries, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, vis-a-vis ECOWAS. And I can say that ECOWAS now is still even more stable than the time I was the president of I was the chair of the authority of the heads of state and government. That was 2010. That 2010, I was just the vice president, but acting president then. And of course, our president said I should chair I should be the chair of the authority. And it was an enormous responsibility for me. We had coup in Niger. I knew how many times I invited the military man that led the coup. Say, look, you can't stay there for too long. we continued to discuss and discuss and discuss until we quickly made sure the elections were done. We became friends. Burkina Faso, we had the same crisis. It is not new. Military took over. Myself, President Macky Sall, and Tink Mahama flew in, and we said, no, we can't continue this way. Within that day, we were able to get the military out. An interim government that was to stay for 9 months to 1 year and conduct election was set up. Of course, even Mali, 2012, that's how myself and the former president became friends. When there are crises in Mali, 2012. I remember one day I flew into Mali very early in the morning. I stayed there till about 12 midnight before I flew back to Abuja. Finally, we were able to stabilize the country, became acting president until elections were conducted. Even Côte d'Ivoire, during the problem between Ouattara and Gbagbo, the stalemate after the elections, it was led to civil war. About 3,000 people died. I was still the chair of the authority, and I knew what we did to stabilize the country. Togo, at the time, was also very tense. Sierra Leone was very tense. Then it was very tense. I remember there was a day I was in Kenya, in Nairobi, and I got a call from Benin. So I have to return back immediately. I didn't even stop in Abuja. I have to fly into Cotonou immediately. And we engaged, and we were able to bring the tension down. So, and if you look at what is happening now, even these three countries, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, to me, just like we discussed about transition, these are countries that are in transition. That cannot be the final government. But it's good that ECOWAS is becoming quite diplomatic to manage the situation. These problems will be resolved. And I believe the sub-region will even be better off. So let me, again, on behalf of the Goodluck Jonathan Foundation, on behalf of the UNDP, thank all of you for coming to participate. Through what yesterday we were here from morning till night, now morning till night. It's not an easy thing. So we have to sincerely appreciate your commitment and your contributions especially, because they were quite heartwarming, quite educative, and I believe it will help the sub-region. I thank you all.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you, Your Excellency. Please, another round of applause for His Excellency, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to invite His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, His Excellency Mohammed B.S. Jallow. Your Excellency, the floor is yours. Oh. You have light? I'll come back. Please sit down until thank you.
Your Excellency, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, Chairperson of the Goodluck Ebel Jonathan Foundation, Your Excellencies, former heads of state, Excellencies, former vice presidents, honorable ministers and permanent secretaries, special representative of the Secretary General, United Nations Office for West Africa and the Sahel, Assistant Secretary General and United Nations Development Program, Regional Director for Africa, United Nations Special Coordinator for Development in the Sahel, and other esteemed Regional Director of International IDEA, the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, service chiefs, senior government officials, regional governors here present, the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As we draw the curtains on this historic first ever Sahel Governance Forum, I stand before you with immense delight and gratitude. Over the past 2 days, we have witnessed a convergence of wisdom, experience, and vision, a gathering that has reaffirmed our collective commitment to shaping a future of governance that is nationally owned, just, inclusive, and rooted in the aspirations of our people. This forum has not only been a platform for dialogue, it is a gathering for deep reflection and renewed resolve. We have listened to voices from across the Sahel, from former heads of states to youth and women leaders, from seasoned policymakers to community champions. Together, we have unpacked the complexities of governance, peace building, and public trust, and we have dared to imagine a better tomorrow. As Vice President of the Gambia, and as stated by His Excellency President Adama Barrow at the opening of this first ever Sahel Governance Forum, I am proud to echo the bold steps our government has taken to lead by example. The launch of the Green Focus Recovery National Development Plan, known as YIRUA, is a testament to our resolve to build forward better. With its 7 transformative pillars, from governance reforms to climate resilience, from digital innovations to peace and human rights, the YIRUA is not just a plan, it is a promise to our people. We have also demonstrated our commitment to transitional justice and reconciliation. We have chosen the path of accountability, healing, and renewal. This is the kind of leadership the Sahel and the whole of Africa needs: courageous, transparent, and people-centered. Your Excellencies, let us not allow the momentum of this forum to fade. Let us carry forward the spirit of collaboration and the urgency of action. The challenges we face in the Sahel are formidable, but they are not insurmountable. With shared purpose, dialogue, increased solidarity, and strategic partnership, we can overcome the challenges, rebuild trust, restore cohesion, and strengthen governance for generations to come. To our international partners and co-hosts, the United Nations Development Programme, the Goodluck Jonathan Foundation, the Office of United Nations Special Coordinator for Development in the Sahel, and International IDEA, we thank you for walking this journey with us. To the government and citizens of the Sahel, especially our youth and women, we pledge to dialogue, collaborate, and keep your issues and needs at the center of our collective decisions and action plan for a peaceful and prosperous Sahel now and for future. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as we close this forum, let us live not with speeches, but with commitments. Let us live not with applause, but with action. Let us live not with memories, but with a mission to build a Sahel where governance and development is a force for unity, dignity, and progress. On behalf of His Excellency President Adama Barrow and the people of the Gambia, I thank you all for your participation, your insights, and your unwavering dedication to the future of our region. May the spirit of Kololi guide us forward. Thank you, safe travels, and may peace and prosperity reign across the Sahel and the rest of the globe. It is now my singular honor to declare the Sahel Governance Forum officially closed. Thank you for your kind attention.
Please.